Hi, I'm Diana Wiley. I'm the Executive Director and founder of Handspun Hope, working in Northern Rwanda. We work in Northern Rwanda. We've been there since 2007. We're in our 15th year, and currently we employ over 150 people focused on 123 at-risk women. Right now, this is our busy season, and we actually have a lot of temporary women working. It's not full-time employment for them, but it's temporary work. So we have over 280 women working right now making yarn and knitting. All of our yarn is, we have merino yarn that is, we sell it in DK, worsted, bulky and super bulky. It's all organic from our own farm in Northern Rwanda. Everything is dyed with native Rwandan plants, with the exception of a few things that we take the natural extracts, but everything is all organic, all natural. We also import Ethiopian hand-spun cotton that's spun on drop spindles in Ethiopia. So every one of our cotton skeins has over 700 yards of drop spinning on it. So it's very labor intensive, and then it's imported into Rwanda, where the ladies of Handspun Hope naturally dye it. The cotton is also spun by a women's co-op there and in Ethiopia. And then so it's helping the women in Ethiopia and the women in Rwanda that work for Handspun Hope. We're also members of the Fair Trade Federation, which is the governing body that governs fair trade in North America. All of our women make above fair wages in Rwanda. We provide family health care for them and their families. We have on-site Rwandan trained psychologists, Rwandan educated psychologists, and we have a whole counseling department, so they receive counseling, group counseling, individual counseling. We also contribute to school fees for all the school-age children, because education in Rwanda is not free, even if it's in a public school. You still have to be able to purchase materials and books. So the yarn sells, and the yarn making is a way to give them a job so that they can provide for their families. So our wool is from, it's merino wool from our own flock of sheep in Rwanda that actually started from importing some ewes from Kenya and some ram from South Africa, and that's what started our flock. Currently we have about 350 head in Rwanda, and we're also outsourcing some sheep, but most of the sheep live on our farm in Rwanda. We do not shear the sheep. In North America, usually you can shear like once a year, and Rwanda is green year-round. There's a lot of rain, but we actually get to shear every 8 months. So we do not shear our sheep until the fleeces are 3.5 inches in length, and that helps give it a softer, loftier wool. So sometimes we say that it's, it may be 10 months in the making before you get your yarn. Hand dye everything in stock pots, so they can only dye 6 skeins of yarn at a time. Our dye masters do an amazing job of matching, and so usually everything is color matched before it goes out to the store. So this poncho is actually out of the hand-spun Ethiopian cotton. This is the indigo colorway, and this is actually a pattern that the ladies in Rwanda knit. They do not read patterns, they knit from templates. So basically we'll take a sketch drawing on graph paper, and they'll reproduce it on to poster board, and then they'll knit to that pattern. And so this is actually called the Queen Poncho. It has buttons, formed buttons that are made in Rwanda, and it can be worn down the back, or it can be worn with the buttons down the side. So you can make this in the wool or in the cotton, but this happens to be the Ethiopian cotton in the indigo colorway. Interesting about the cotton, dyeing cotton and wool are two completely different processes, but the Ethiopian cotton is actually imported from Ethiopia into Rwanda in a single skein. We dye it in a single ply, and then it's plied. So you'll get a lot of the tonal variations in that. Even when one ply of yarn, you'll see the light and dark, which is kind of cool, and that's all part of the natural process.